Hi, and welcome to the Eagle's Eye. I'm your host, Ingrid Schmidt, here today with two resident assistants, Logan Baker and Taylor Randalls. Logan is here with me now. Logan, thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
So how would you describe the position of resident assistant?
So most students on campus would probably say that I'm a policy enforcer, and they would probably say that they kind of get nervous when they see me, but I really, with resident assistant, I try to be someone that builds community and ultimately a friend for the residents, someone that they can come and talk to, someone that is approachable and available for the students.
And how does a student become an RA?
So I actually applied to be an RA my first semester of freshman year. And the process for that was initially you completed a few essay questions, kind of talking about, again, what you think a resident assistant is, what they do, how do they enforce policy, and then from there, if you move past that stage, then you have a full day of interviews with face-to-face with other RAs and resident assistants, and then about a month and a half after that, you find out if you are an RA or not.
Okay, and what made you decide to be an RA?
My freshman year, I came in not really knowing what a resident assistant was, and my RA, Anna, was a fifth-year senior, and she was very bubbly and welcoming, and just in the first week, I kind of knew that I wanted to be a leader on campus and get more involved, especially being freshman year, because that's when you jumpstart your college career. And so by talking to Anna and seeing what she did for the first few weeks, I knew that that was something potentially that I wanted to do. And so I decided my first semester that I wanted to be a resident assistant.
What specific responsibilities come with being an RA?
Like I said, you do enforce policy, you build community, especially with first-year students, because they come in not knowing what college is like. Some have never lived with other people before, and so kind of coaching them along the way and dealing with roommate conflict as well, that takes a lot of time, again, with first-year students. And so making sure that they can work things out, again, with being approachable. We also have, every month we do programs, and sometimes we do programs involving multiple floors and as a building to create even a larger sense of community. And we also have duty nights in which every night an RA is on duty, and they do rounds and they go through the buildings that they occupy and make sure that everything is okay, that there's nothing crazy going on. And so those are just some of the responsibilities.
And what are the benefits of being an RA?
I would say, again, building that community and seeing it thrive. Again, especially with first-year students, the relationships that those students make with each other, and then just getting the feedback from them. I know, especially my first semester as an RA, the girls on my floor were extremely sweet, and they saw that I was very welcoming and just able to help them out with things. And so I really liked that they made those relationships and that they grew.
Is there any other part of being an RA that especially sticks out for you as being a favorite?
I would say the support system that is created. You feel safe around these people, and that's something that we especially want to create, because these residents, they are living and learning with each other, and so you want them to be able to have a great college experience, and that is something that RAs try to help with the process.
Okay, and what are some of the floor programs that you've put together?
So I have had programs in October in which we have mason jars, and we paint them with like Halloween colors, and then getting little tea lights, and the residents put them in their dorms. I remember one time we had a party to celebrate the end of the semester, and we had a white elephant exchange in which a bunch of the girls on my floor got together, and that was, you saw the community working with each other.
And what is your favorite floor program that you can remember?
I would say, going back to the white elephant, it wasn't necessarily a program, but it kind of became one because that was the end of my first semester of being an RA, and I was actually going off to do an internship, and the girls on my floor were very supportive of me leaving, and they were just so sweet and very excited for the opportunity that I was given. And you could tell that the girls knew each other, and a few of the girls actually put the event together, and we made note cards with things that we liked, our favorite colors, just little things, and that program was just a huge success.
Okay, so last question, what is one of the most common write-ups you have to do as an RA?
Right now, I am an RA in Jacobs, and we have a lot of residents that are juniors and seniors, and so they are of the drinking age, but because they live on campus housing in Jacobs Hall, they are not allowed to have alcohol in the dorms or drink in the dorms. And sometimes on the weekends, we do catch that there are a few parties, and so we do have to document those, and that's probably the most that we see in Jacobs.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Logan.
Of course.
Next, we are talking to resident assistant Taylor Randalls. But first, TV20's Waylon ODonnell goes out on campus to see what people think of their RAs.
Thanks, Ingrid. I'm Waylon ODonnell, and today we're on the scene at Ashland University asking students about their RAs. Come on! So, can you tell us a little bit about your RA and who they might be?
Yes, well, our RA is Bailey Warhoftig, and she's amazing. She's awesome. She's like a mother to us, and she gets very protective.
Can you tell us a little bit about the relationship between you and your RA?
He's a pretty cool guy, pretty relaxed. I talk to him every once in a while. I'll be out studying, he'll come and talk to me, but he's pretty chill. I like him a lot. He's a good guy.
Can you tell us a little bit about your RA?
I don't really see him that much, but like at night I'll see him like going into his room, and that's about it.
So is there anything that, like, have you ever been locked out of your room?
I have been locked out of my room twice, and he has not helped me.
Can you tell us a little bit about your RA? Like, what was your impression of her?
She's really nice and easy to talk to, and for all the girls to ask her questions, she was always there to help us out.
Can you tell us a little bit about your RA? Have you ever participated in RA Appreciation Day?
Yeah, we actually did. For RA Appreciation Day, we went and bought her a whole bunch of candy, and we did notes, so everybody on the floor wrote her a nice special note about how awesome she is to us. And then we just got her a hippo mug because her favorite animal is hippos.
Could you tell us a little bit about your RA?
Yeah, my RA is Brian Lee. I'm on the 7th floor of Chem, and he's a great RA. Love him. You know, he's real chill. He does everything pretty well.
Well, it looks like RAs are quite the chit-chat here at Ashland University. Well, that's it for me. Back to you, Ingrid.
Thanks, Waylon. With me now is resident assistant Taylor Randalls. Taylor, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
So, how would you describe the position of RA?
So I am actually, this is my 3rd year being an RA, so I feel like I've really got a grasp on what it entails, even this year as I advanced into the assistant resident director role. So to me, in my opinion, all that the resident assistant position entails is community, right? First year and upperclassmen students come back to campus every year for 4 years, 5 years, and when you first start out, you want to build friends, and that's what you're worried about. And I feel like we're there to help with that process, to help with moving away from your home and everything that you've known for 18 years. And then also, you know, keep people safe. That's what we have. Parents come to us move-in day for upperclassmen and especially the first year students, just saying, you know, like, take care of my son and daughter, like, we're really nervous. Even juniors, you know, and that's something that I feel like is the biggest role is, you know, it's your safety. It's you're here, they're not. So both to keep safe, and then to build community, and then just be there. Like, be a mentor, be somebody that they look up to come to you if they ever need anything. I think that that's the most important characteristic that an RA needs to have if they were to want to become one.
And what made you decide to become an RA?
So we just said, I'm an accounting major, but I don't necessarily like act like one, right? My personality is pretty bubbly. And my first year coming here, I wasn't the typical, like, I'm so nervous to come to school type of person, just because I already knew a lot of people at Ashland. What it was for me was I like to be involved. So I joined my hall council my freshman year. And then it was kind of just like, oh, an RA position, that sounds really cool. And my RA at the time wasn't really invested in us because she was a senior. She was really involved, and I didn't really get to see her all that often. But I knew that that's why I wanted to become, because I knew what they could be, and I wanted to be that. So my first semester, much like Logan, did the process and became one for my sophomore year and have been it ever since.
What are your specific responsibilities being an RA?
So contract-wise is, you have to be on your duty night every other week, or however what you decide with your staff. And that entails doing an office hour from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. on the weekdays, and then till midnight you have to do rounds. And then obviously the weekend is a little bit longer. And that, again, is just to keep safety. And then you have the responsibility of just being there, right? We only get 12 nights away from campus, and that is because if somebody needs you at 2, 3 in the morning, they need to make sure we're here 90% of the school year. So I would say being there, doing the things that's not everybody's favorite, which is the rounds, and making sure people are enforcing policy, is the most important responsibilities. But to me, it's just to be yourself and to let your residents see you. Be a role model is what they instill in us all the time. So I think that is the biggest responsibility that is kind of maybe not on contract, but is very important.
What are the benefits that you see of being an RA?
I'm a nerd, so this is my favorite job I've had. Like I said, I'm an accounting major, and while that's so great, this position has made me really think, like, I need people, right? I need people in my life. I've had so many residents come up to me over my past 3 years, and I've been with freshmen twice and upperclassmen 1 year, and I thought that upperclassmen were going to be different. I thought that I'm not going to like it, I'm not going to have those relationships, and I was surprised. So the biggest benefit is when somebody comes up to me mid-year or at the end of the year and they say, I almost didn't come back, and you're the reason why I did. And like, people have brought me to tears before, and it's not easy to make me cry, and just tell me and like instill so much like confidence, like, because of you, I'm still here. And that is the biggest benefit I've run into.
What are some of the floor plan programs you put together?
Oh, that's so funny because I've done it for 3 years every month, right? But ones that pop out to me is I did a charity event for the Ashland Fire Department, and we got together with my budget and we made I think we made the Oreo Rice Krispies. And to get the money to do that on top of my budget, I sold it was Clark First Floors 2 years ago. And I made these shirts and I sold them for a profit for my floor. And then we got the money, made a treat, and we all took it over to the Ashland Fire Department. That was special. And then just last month, I had a letter from an almost Ashland grad, because I'm a graduating senior and they're just now coming in. They're all first year students. And I felt that in my own dealing with the fact that I'm graduating in a month, I really wanted to do that. So they can ask any questions like, what can I not miss out on? And it turned out to be awesome. They learned so much and really gave me the confidence that wow, I'm leaving, but they're gonna be okay, So it's great.
What has been your favorite floor program?
Favorite floor program ever? It was my very first program ever. okay, ever. And I've done a karaoke program before, and that was fun, and ha ha ha. But my very first program ever as an RA, we made a craft, and I think it was like a fake flower pin, and that sticks out to me the most is because I had, I think, 98% of my floor come, and that to an RA is like the best thing that can happen, and I think that's why it was my favorite, because everybody stayed even when it was over, and that's why.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Taylor.
Thank you.
That's it for this episode of The Eagle's Eye. Thank you for tuning in.